Welcome back to my channel. I know I've been away for a little bit, but I'm back and I have a lot of stories I want to cover, and this is the first one I'm going to do. This is Tatiana Duggar, and for those of you who are not aware, I actually learned about her being missing earlier this year, but I didn't really know that this would be the outcome. But she went missing in January from California, Oakland. Basically, the backstory on this: Tatiana had just graduated from high school. And, she was just out here living her life, trying to figure out what she wanted to do. Not specifically sure who this man is, but January 1st, she went to a motel in Oakland and stayed with a man named Marcos. They believe that's his street name. And she stayed at this hotel with him for nearly a week, a little over a week. January 7th, she did speak to her mother for about an hour. Her family says that she always speaks to family every single day. Someone is hearing from her. And so January 7th was actually the last time that anyone heard from her. On January 8th, Marcos contacted, or basically he was saying that this is when she went missing. So what happened was he contacted her younger sister, who's 17. And the younger sister is actually the only person who knew of Marcos. The rest of the family doesn't know him, never seen him. The younger sister met him once and only know him by Marcos. Nobody has any information on this guy, not a car, nothing. And so he contacted the little sister and said, hey, me and Tatiana was at this party, and I left the party for about an hour and a half and went back to the motel. And when I got back to the party, she was gone. And we can't find her, or I can't find her. And so the sister goes and tells the family, and they go and file a missing person report. And, all communication by this point has stopped. Tatiana is no longer responding to messages, calls. No one has seen her. Marcos is claiming that he hasn't seen her. And yeah, the family is freaking out. So this was in January, you guys. And from that point, I kept seeing a lot of things on her, like people looking for her that was doing like searches or walks and stuff for her, because nobody knew where she was. There's a few things I want to point out, but I'm going to continue the story. The family went to the motel where she was staying with him, and I don't even know how old he is. And in my opinion, I want to believe he's way older than her. Nobody knows. There's not a picture of this guy that surfaced, not an age, not a real name, not a location, nothing. We just know him as Marcos. So anyway, the family goes to the motel where they find out she was actually staying at that motel with him. And they find her car there. Her car was locked, but everything seems to be okay. Just her car. But they did not find her. They were not allowed to search the motel. And the motel was saying that if they want anything, if they want a camera search or anything, that will have to come with the police. The family was saying that they weren't being very helpful. The motel wasn't being helpful, but once police investigated the hotel room, they said that the room and everything, it didn't look like it didn't look like any foul play or anything like that. I think they found some of her belongings still in the hotel, but they just said everything looked okay. I guess the room wasn't ransacked or anything. And so from that point forth, they just reached out to the public for help trying to find Tatiana. So I'm going to talk about this Marcos guy. We don't know who he is. He reached out to the little sister just to say, hey, we went to a party. The older sister, which there is another interview, I will try to show you guys that, but she was saying how basically, because it's an investigation, they were not allowed to go to the home where the party was. And, they do know that the party was in Oakland as well, but they don't have much information about that party. So they're not really sure if something really happened at the party or if this is just something that Marcos is saying. I honestly believe Marcos is lying, whoever he is. But let's go back and show you guys. I'm going to go back and show you guys the video of the older sister doing an interview with, she was doing an interview with another lady from the news. But obviously here it is, you see it, this is the update. So about 3 months later, her body was found. Okay, she was found. sadly, by a hiker. And obviously, a lot of times when people go missing for a long time, hikers always find these bodies. It's so weird. But let's go back and show you guys the video of the sister talking about her sister's disappearance. And the disappearance this video was actually before her being found dead. So nobody knew anything, or this would turn out like this.
Say, as far as like, he takes her to this party, right? So they go to this party. I'm assuming they're together, a couple of some sort, or friends or something. So does he say she leaves with someone, or he just like, oh, I lost track of her and I don't know what happened?
He says that he went back to the hotel room, doing what, I'm not sure. He said he went back to the hotel room maybe for an hour and a half. When he went back to the party, that she was gone.
Okay, and he didn't say if anybody said they saw her, or
he wasn't very forthcoming with like details, information. He just said that she was gone when he went back to get her, and that he's been trying to get a hold of her.
Did he seem concerned?
Yes and no. I don't think he was like as concerned as we are, being her family, but he portrayed himself as if he was out looking for her.
Where were they staying, and where was this party?
The hotel they were staying at was the West Wind Lounge in Oakland, and the actual address of this party I am not aware of. The police have that information.
Okay, but that party was in Oakland as well?
Yes.
So yes, the story that Marcos is saying, you know, they went to a party. He left her. Why would you take her to a party and then leave her for an hour and a half? What are you doing going back to the motel without her? Then you go back to get her, and then she's not there. And then you're not giving any information like she left with someone or anybody else at the party saw something. It's just she wasn't there. You know, he didn't say that the party was empty, like there was nobody at the house. He just said she wasn't there. It doesn't make sense. And then immediately after that, no one is able to get in touch with her. She's gone. And obviously now she is deceased. So I don't know who this man is, why she was with him. Yes, she was like 18, 19 years old. But then you have to think, like, what was really going on between the two? Like, why was she in the hotel with him for a week? And the family doesn't even know who he is. Like, was something even going on then for her to be at the hotel? Was she being held against her will then? You know what I'm saying? Like, the family didn't know him. So how is it that you can have such a close relationship with someone, another man, and be in a hotel room for a week, and your family don't even know who he is? Who was he really to her, and what was going on? And then all of a sudden she's missing, and then you really have no type of care to go search for her, because the sister was saying that it's a full interview, so you can go back and watch that one on Facebook. But he was saying that, like, he has his own criminal record, so he didn't want to get involved with the police investigating and searching for her because of his own criminal past. And so he was so more concerned about himself than her, that he basically just fell off the face of the earth when it came to finding her, which I don't believe it had anything to do with his criminal past. I think it has everything to do with her going missing and him having everything to do with that. And he just didn't want to be caught. And so I'm not aware, no one really is aware of what he's up to right now. The sister was also saying in that same interview that Tatiana had roommates. So she was living with, I guess, her friends, some roommates whom she believes those roommates introduced her to Marcos. And so some of those roommates or friends have been arrested, but they haven't been helpful either at her disappearance. But right now it's now I guess a homicide. Can't really say. They said they're doing an autopsy, so you don't really know how she was found, what happened. But come on. You don't just go missing from a party, as he claims, and then you're dead. That's no. Because who was you with? How did you get there? Her cell phone was pinged at a nearby park. And so I'm not sure when they found her if that's the same area that her phone was pinged. But they said the last ping was about 2 something. It was sometime in the morning of which she went missing, and it was at a park, like a deserted park. And from that point, that was the last ping that they had of her last known location. prior to them finding her body. Now they have found her, and so now they need help in trying to figure out specifically what happened and who did this and who Marcos is. They don't know who this guy is. Like, they literally just did this interview last week, March the 24th, and they still don't know who this Marcos guy is. And only the little sister, who was 17, met him once, and he reached out to her about Tatiana being missing from that party, which I don't believe it was a party. That doesn't make sense. You don't just leave someone at a party and then come back to get her. If that was the case, then you could have just left with her and not went back to the party if you didn't plan on partying anymore, you know? So, I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. Unfortunately, this is another sad case from California. You guys know we are still looking for Orson and Oren, or Classic and Sincere. We still haven't heard anything about them. And I'm not trying to tie that into it, but it's just like, we're still looking for them kids. Like, what the heck? But yeah, this is really sad. I didn't really want to go on and on about this, but you guys, her name's Tatiana Duggar. She's 19, and unfortunately, right now we don't know what happened to her. She's a young, beautiful girl, and this is how it turned out for her in the end. I personally felt like, and even the sister was saying that it could have been like a human trafficking case, and that's what I kind of feel like. What was going on in that hotel for 8 days? 8 days, really? Why are you in the hotel with this man and your family? And I'm not saying that to judge her, like, why are you in a hotel with him? But it's like, I'm questioning what was going on in that motel for a week. They didn't say there was a celebration or it was for New Year's Eve, because the sister was saying that Tatiana stayed with her for like 5 days through Christmas, you know, so she was there for the holiday. But then with this guy, it's kind of random. Nobody knows him. And usually when you're around people that your own family don't know, that person probably is up to no good. So I don't feel like he had anything positive to deal with Tatiana. And then she was in a hotel with him for a week. No telling what was going on during that time. The family probably don't know right now. And then she goes missing, and then she's just giving this story like, oh, they was at a party and I left her and then I came back and she was gone. Seriously? No. So tell me what you guys think about this. This is another sad case, and I'll be doing more videos and uploading them, but I'm thankful to be back. I had to take a break. There's a lot of stuff been going on, and also taking a break from a lot of these cases because it is very sad. There's a lot of things that you don't want to just constantly talk about. You just need a break from negativity. And so sometimes these cases can be very, very sad, and I just don't like it. But covering it is kind of a different thing. But justice for Tatiana. This is really sad, and thank you guys so much for watching.